Stadium. Well, I have to say tonight, though, looking around me, the attendance does seem to be a little bit down on what we'd normally expect to see in our Elite League encounters. Well, the fans on the whole seem happy, but what about the riders? Some of them, of course, will be facing the Wimborne Road circuit for the first time.
Yeah, it is a little bit. I've only had a couple of practices here after the meetings, and I have had that one meeting against Trelawney. So, yeah, it is hard to get used to a track when you're straight into racing, not having ridden or raced since January, actually, so it makes it hard work.
Well, of course, we've got lots of British League Cup matches still to come, and one or two new tracks for you to be trying your paces out, not alone Wimborne Road. How long does it take, really, to get a set-up for a track such as this?
Oh, you really got to rely on your teammates to help you along. You know, most of them have ridden at most of the tracks before, so someone will know roughly a setup, and you have to go with it, what they know, and just go for it.
Now, the Workington team tonight, obviously, they've got a very good record in the Premier League. Do you think that this is an encounter that we could be facing later on in the British League Cup, perhaps?
I think it's going to be hard to really predict who's going to go well in this, because obviously a lot of the Elite League teams look really good. It doesn't seem to, you know, average out with the Premier League teams, but you never know. If they, you know, any team works as a team, it's possible they could go, you know, a long way with it.
Absolutely. And the Pirates, do you feel confident this evening?
Yeah. Well, I'm still nervous. Yeah, hopefully I'll go all right. Got a good team together tonight, so fingers crossed. Yeah.
Well, it's a great opportunity to get an extra few laps in, anyway.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, racing practice. Yeah.
Okay. Thanks for talking to us.
Okay, thanks. Bye.
Yeah, you know, I remember coming here years ago with my dad when I was this big, but yeah, I've seen it on Sky Sports, and it looks like a quite good track. And now being here now, just about to go and race on it, you know, it looks better now. So.
How do you find a setup for a track that you've never ridden on?
You just go off the other lads and what my dad says, and Stonehewer and the other top heat leaders, basically, and just try and suss out what you think is going to be best for you, you know. So, well, it's hit and miss, really. We'll see how we go.
How would you compare the Poole circuit to Workington?
It's quite a big track, this, but it's, you know, Workington's a lot bigger and a lot faster, I suppose, or I think it's going to be a lot faster. I don't know yet, but but I would presume it is going to be a bit slower than Workington around here.
Okay, and things at Workington going well for you so far this year?
Yeah, I've moved up from reserve full time this year. I'm at number 4, so just as long as I keep getting the steady thirds and a few seconds, you know, and just constantly get like 5, 4, 5, 6 points, and I'm reasonably happy. But you know, as the season progresses, I want to get better and better, as you know, as anyone would do.
Sure.
And hopefully I can start getting some quite decent scores in, really.
Do you ever get tired of being linked with the Collins dynasty?
Yeah, now and again, a few times, but no, it doesn't really bother me, you know. Because I've been brought up with it, it's nothing new to me, so it doesn't really bother me at all.
Well, good luck tonight. Let's hope that you go out there and do your business.
Yeah, cheers, mate. Thank you.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Well, the Poole riders, of course, are no strangers to the Wimborne Road circuit, but for some of them tonight, there's really only sketchy experience.
Yeah, obviously, Sunday's the next stepping stone towards my goal of actually reaching the final before I can win it. So, you know, today's a bit of a cheeky practice, as you said before. So, hope get a few bikes tried and make sure everything's set up correctly for Sunday.
Well, it's a great opportunity for you. It's a good opportunity for Poole fans to see you as well. And I know that obviously you've been nursing a bit of an injury a week or two ago, but I somehow had no doubt in my mind that we'd see you tonight.
Yeah, I kind of bust a hand up a little bit at Swindon the other week, but had a successful practice in Sweden last Wednesday, and then rode in the meeting on the Thursday and scored 14. So I couldn't really ring Ian and tell him I wasn't fit for either last Saturday and today. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Poole's always a track that I've enjoyed coming to and riding, and the fans have always been great towards me as a visiting rider. So hopefully tonight won't be any different, and I can put on a bit of a show.
And is the Interleague Cup something that you're raring to go for?
Yeah, obviously. It's just another meeting for us, really. You go out and try and win every meeting, so today's certainly no different.
Okay, well, thanks for talking to us. Good luck, and extremely good luck for you on Sunday.
Thank you very much. Cheers.
No, I've only ridden here. I rode here at that meeting in the British League Cup against Trelawney, and other than that, I've done one second half, so I've not really ridden the track.
How hard is it to come into the British League Cup as a young rider and break in, and suddenly you're in a team with Leigh ADAMS and Lukas DRYML?
It's really hard. As I proved last meeting, they're so fast out the gate that, you know, hopefully I'll be up there today, but You know, I was on their pace, but out the gate, it was just, they're unbelievable, you know. So,
are you able to learn off of those?
Yeah, it's good because it gives you something to chase, and definitely it shows you what, you know, where you are that little bit off, and you can see where they're going on the track. So definitely good to be out there with them. And
do you think the British League Cup is exactly what you need to help you get that sort of experience?
Yes, definitely. I do agree with it because, like I say, it lets you ride against top riders and see what they are doing that might be slightly different, you know. So.
Okay. And you feel confident tonight?
Yeah, I feel confident.
Good. You look confident?
Yeah, I'd like to think I am, so hopefully be there and score some points.
Good man. Okay, well, good luck. Hope it all goes well.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks a lot. Well, there's plenty to whet our appetite then as we go into action. We can see the blend of experience with the likes of Leigh ADAMS and Lukas DRYML, Stonehewer, and of course Simon Stead. And of course at the other end of the table there are some riders who are looking to get their first fledgling steps out on the Wimborne Road track. Well, we've got lots of that to look forward to. 15 races coming up for you. It's time now to go and join Graham.
Well, thank you, Nigel, and you join us as we are at the start for race 2 of this special British League Cup challenge fixture between the Pirates and the Workington Comets. In Heat 2, it's an all-Aussie lineup for the Pirates with the youngster Cameron Woodward and the experienced hand of Tony Primmer in red and blue respectively against Blair SCOTT, Scottish rider in the green helmet, and Aiden COLLINS, son of Les, who lines up on the grid 4 position in yellow. Off they go then, and be intriguing here as it's Tony Primmer out in the lead from Cameron Woodward. So Pirates coming out of the first bend with 5 points to 1 maximum heat advantage, with Aiden COLLINS chasing hard in third place, right on the tail of Cameron Woodward. But at this stage, Pirates looking fairly comfortable as they go into the second lap with maximum points. Tony Primmer still out in front. He did impress in his only previous home fixture here against the Trelawney Tigers a few weeks back in the British League Cup, and once again he's blazing a trail, but certainly looking for young Cameron Woodward, just 18 years of age, only his second home meeting since he arrived here from Australia earlier in the season, and with a lap to go he now comes under considerable pressure from the rider in yellow, Aiden COLLINS, who slightly overcooks it as he made it a strong challenge. So around the final bend now, it looks very much as if the two Aussies for the Pirates take maximum points, which they do, and that's a win then for Tony Primmer, second for Cameron Woodward, with Aiden COLLINS and Blair SCOTT filling in the minor positions. And with that drawn race in the opening heat, that moves the progressive totals along to Poole 8 points and to Workington's 4. On to race number 3, intriguing lineup of riders here who you wouldn't normally see in team competition. Lukas DRYML on the rostrum in the Grand Prix just a few days ago in Poland, the European Grand Prix, and a very exciting third place he took in that. His partner for Poole riding at number 4 today is David Ruud, and the opposition comes from Simon Stead and the Aussie Rusty Harrison. So it's Simon Stead on grid 1 in the green helmet, and Rusty Harrison with the yellow helmet, and seemingly leathers to match on grid 3. Lukas DRYML on the wide outside as he looks for the green light, which he sees, and gets a jet-propelled start, which takes him around the first bend, right round the outside of Simon Stead, or yes, there he goes to join David Ruud for another 5-1 potential heat win. Simon Stead in third place is one of England's hottest young talents, and this match will serve as very useful practice for him, because he'll be back at Poole in under a week's time in the under-21 World Championship qualifier. But this will be a meeting that will be invaluable towards his potential progress in that competition. But there's no potential progress in this race, I fear, because with a lap to go, the Pirates holding a very strong-looking 5-1 advantage. Lukas DRYML comfortably out in front. The pressures of racing here, not quite those that he would expect in the Elite League with the top stars, but nevertheless still got to earn those points, and a good second place for David Ruud with a great bit of team riding to give Pirates maximum 5-1 and move the progressive total along as Simon Stead comes in for the third place to Poole 13 points, Workington Comets 5. So we move on to Heat 4, significant because it marks the return to Wimborne Road in the Pirate colours of the skipper for this evening, Craig Boyce, and a match that he's certainly been looking forward to. Craig in the red helmet, and his partner in this one in the blue will be Tony Primmer. For Workington, it's Peter I KARLSSON in green and Aiden COLLINS in the yellow helmet. Now that's Peter I KARLSSON, not the PK we're used to, but Peter I KARLSSON, who takes an immediate liking to the first bend, and after leading coming out of the pits turn, it's Craig Boyce, who is very eager to please his home fans here, who immediately scorches to the front with a fine piece of overtaking along the back straight, and Peter I KARLSSON now on his tail with Tony Primmer riding third place and Aiden COLLINS fourth. Craig Boyce, of course, did have an away fixture with the Pirates in the British League Cup at Trelawney just over a month ago, but since then, of course, he's been snapped up for the Elite League action by Oxford, and so that's somewhat restricted his outings for the Pirates. He certainly was missing when the Trelawney Tigers came back here to Wimborne Road, and he was quite annoyed at having missed that match, but here he takes the checkered flag, so it's a winning return for the skipper Craig Boyce as he takes that 3 points ahead of Peter I KARLSSON, and in third place Tony Primmer. Aiden COLLINS just taking a little tumble, but he's back on his bike straight away, so it's a 4-2 heat win to the Pirates, and they lead by 17 points to 7. And the lineup for Heat 5 now features a current and prolific Grand Prix star against a former prolific Grand Prix star. Those two riders, Lukas DRYML and Stonehewer, going head-to-head. Lukas DRYML then paired up with David Ruud once again, and Lukas has pole position. They're on grid 1, just doing a little bit of gardening prior to the start of the race. Alongside him in the yellow helmet is Kauko NIEMINEN from Finland, and then we've got David Ruud, another Scandinavian. He's in the blue helmet, and finally Stoney lines up in the green top, right on the outside position. Starter now just trying to coax him into line. Stonehewer concentrating very much more on the British scene this year and cut down on his foreign commitments, and that of course includes the Grand Prix, which he's no longer in, but there he has a good old blast round the outside of the first bend as he tries to take David Ruud, but with Lukas DRYML already out in front, David Ruud in second place, Stoney having a good go round the outside, but it looks like David Ruud's trying to hold pole position, those two having a right old dice up, and this time Stoney makes a wonderful switch on the pits turn on the inside to relegate the Swede, although only momentarily it seemed, because they're nip and tuck in this one as they pass the second lap mark with half of the race gone. Stoney now seems to be trying to consolidate that second place. No doubt about the leader out in front. We've got Lukas DRYML looking very comfortable indeed, but that was really a very good ride by Stonehewer, because we've seen plenty of evidence this season that once David Ruud gets his nose in front, even of the most prolific opposition, he can hold on to a place. But he hasn't done this time, because Stoney's come through to take second. It's a 4-2 heat win to the Pirates. Comfortable win for Lukas DRYML. Stonehewer, third David Ruud, and back and forth Kauko NIEMINEN. 4-2 then to the Pirates. Their lead now 21 points to 9. So with an already comfortable lead, the Pirates moved to Heat 6 with Leigh ADAMS, a comfortable winner first time out in the red helmet, and his young partner, young Poole lad, Danny Warwick, in the blue helmet, getting a second outing for the Pirates already this season. Peter I KARLSSON is in the green helmet, and Blair SCOTT in the yellow on grid 3 completes the lineup for this one. As away they go, Leigh ADAMS immediately out of the gate with Peter I KARLSSON tucked in second, and it's a 3-all at this stage with Blair SCOTT showing an improvement on his earlier outing, holding the third place. But Leigh ADAMS, in that familiar armchair style of his, out in front. He also, of course, in action in the Grand Prix in Poland at the weekend, and was through to the semi-final, but didn't actually make the cut for the final. So he probably didn't repeat the outstanding form that we've seen in the last few weeks from Leigh here at Poole, but nevertheless, getting through to a Grand Prix semi-final is no mean feat by anybody's standards. Way out in front at this stage is Leigh ADAMS, with Peter I KARLSSON then tucked in for second. as they cross the line, and it's drawn heat in prospect here. Danny Warwick hanging on in there. He took a tumble first time out, but no ill effects of that, and he's back in action here, but it looks like it's going to be a 0 again as he heads towards the fence and comes up to take the checkered flag, and managed to stay on the bike that time. 3-3 then. Leigh ADAMS leads from Peter I KARLSSON, Blair SCOTT, and finally Danny Warwick. 24 points to Poole, 12 to Workington. So now it's heat 7 and second outing for Craig Boyce. This time a nice gate 1 for him and his young partner Cameron Woodward on grid 3. Cameron, like the Workington number 3 rider Simon Stead, is another rider here in the World Under-21 Championship round in a few days' time. So he obviously enjoying practice on the track. And of course, Cameron is out in this one against Simon Stead, who will be one of his most formidable challengers in that event on Sunday. Completing the lineup, another Aussie, Rusty Harrison, is in the yellow helmet. So away they go, and Craig Boyce out in front. The other riders in heavy traffic, but a good first bend by Cameron Woodward, but he was unable to maintain that advantage as he first of all sees Simon Stead and then his partner Rusty Harrison go by, but he's still battling on in there. In fact, this is a pretty good race here. Riders well bunched up together, and Cameron Woodward and Rusty Harrison having a right old ding-dong. In fact, Cameron looks as if he's got the inside position, and he's come back into third place. Fine ride by the young 18-year-old Aussie. Now he's on the trail of Simon Stead, while Rusty Harrison's having a go to come back. Well, there's 3 out of 4 Aussies in this one. Simon Stead, the only English rider. Comfortably out in front is the skipper, Craig Boyce. Simon Stead looks pretty steady in second after his recent comeback from injury. Still a dice up on the last bend between Cameron Woodward and Rusty Harrison, and it looks as if Cameron in the blue helmet holds on, so improving with every race here at Wimborne Road. The young number 6 for the Pirates, Cameron Woodward, and his team take another heat victory, that time by 4 points to 2, moving the scoreline along to Pirates 28, Workington Comets 14. Heat 8, and a little bit of excitement this time because Workington team management, Ian Thomas and friends, deciding that they need to do something drastic about the arrears of 14 points, and they brought in the yellow helmet none other than Stonehewer. He comes in to take the place of Aiden COLLINS and joins Kauko NIEMINEN, and Stoney is on the 15-yard mark because he is being used as a golden tactical, coming out against Danny Warwick and Tony Primmer. And who's to say he can't get all 6 points here as they blast into the first bend. Already is challenging on Danny Warwick, but hasn't made any impression yet. Tony Primmer, as we might have thought with this handicap start, is out in front. Following him is Kauko NIEMINEN right on his tail. Danny Warwick still holding off the efforts of Stonehewer as they come into the second lap, but not any longer. And now it's third place for Stoney. Remember that Stoney's points will be doubled immediately. His partner Kauko NIEMINEN slows right up to let Stoney round halfway through the race. Stoney's still got some distance to make up on Tony Primmer. Is he going to get the 6 points, or is it going to be restricted to 4, doubling his 2 for a second place? 1 lap to go. Tony Primmer looks pretty strong out in front. Stoney's still got a lot of ground to make up. It's all going to be on the last bend. The golden tactical may or may not pay off. Stoney goes in, takes a handful. He's round the outside, but he's still got a lot of work to do. Is he going to do it? It's nip and tuck, and I think he just does it there. And that's a wonderful piece of riding by Stonehewer to take 6 points. And that golden tactical really was well timed. Tony Primmer finishing second for the Pirates. Kauko NIEMINEN is third and Danny Warwick fourth. So if my maths is correct, it's 6 for Stoney, 1 for Kauko. That's 7 points to 2 in favour of the Workington Comets. These golden tacticals don't happen very often, and it's a commentator's nightmare, but just doing a bit of mental arithmetic, the 2 points takes the Pirates on to 30 points, and Workington jump up to 21, just 9 between them after 8 races, and that's something just a little bit different here. So after the excitement of the Golden Tactical, it's back to 4 riders on the start line this time in race number 9, with Lukas DRYML and David Ruud in red and blue respectively. David Ruud being on the inside start position in the green helmet, with 2 second places and looking quite impressive with some strong first bends. Peter I KARLSSON, the Swede, not to be confused with PK of course, and his partner this time in the yellow helmet will be Blair SCOTT. So just coming into line here, the form book would suggest maybe that Lukas and David Ruud will be on for a 5-1, particularly with the inside start. So let's see what sort of impression the Swede Peter I KARLSSON can make this time. He has the gate 2 position. Off they go, and indeed it's the 2 Pirates who take an immediate first bend advantage, and away goes Lukas. I don't think they're going to see him for dust now, barring anything unforeseen. He's away. David Ruud and Peter I KARLSSON in 2nd and 3rd. Looks as if they could have a little bit of a close battle, and otherwise it looks as if the Pirates are going to return to maximum heat winning ways. They've already got 2 5-1s to their belts this evening, and they've had what looked to be a very, very comfortable lead, pegged back a little bit with that 7-2 to the Comets in the previous race. Now we're seeing some textbook team riding, something that maybe the Pirates don't always have the luxury of, such with sterner elite league opposition. There's a chance for these 2 riders here to really get it right, and there they are, the outside rider just in front, looking to his partner on the inside, who does the covering position, and they're coming up to take the checkered flag with Lukas DRYML and David Ruud. Lovely bit of team riding there, a 5-1 with Peter I KARLSSON 3rd, Blair SCOTT 4th, and that restores a significant lead to the Pirates. It's now 35 points to Workington Comets 22. Okay, now on to race 14, and with Rusty Harrison having withdrawn from the heat, the Comets make a tactical change and they bring in Simon Stead for races already under his belt and 7 points to his credit. He comes in to partner Aiden COLLINS, and opposition in the shape of David Ruud in the red helmet and Cameron Woodward for the Pirates in blue. So David Ruud on the outside, right alongside the safety fence, whereas Simon Stead in the green helmet on grid 1. So this could be quite a close fought contest, and it would be interesting to see what sort of first bend these 4 riders can produce. David Ruud gets a good one from 4, but Simon Stead moves into a race lead for the first time this evening. Is he going to hold off the challenge from David Ruud? It looks as if he is for this stage at least. Cameron Woodward has tucked nicely into 3rd place. Now it remains to be seen whether Simon Stead, with his fresh air and his nose in front, can hold on to that advantage. In fact, it could be that the Comets are on for their first heat win of the evening, because Cameron Woodward has surrendered the 3rd place he was holding to Aiden COLLINS, who's out in the yellow helmet. Simon Stead then still out in the lead with 2.5 laps gone. David Ruud very close order and trying all he knows. He's got the yellow flag out in front of him indicating just a lap to go, and it does look as if Simon Stead is going to take victory here for the Comets. Half a lap to go. David Ruud tucked in 2nd, and comfortably in 3rd is Aiden COLLINS. And yes, the Comets take heat win by 4 points to 2, and after 14 races, just a heat to go, scoreline moves Poole 51 points, Workington Comets 36. So here we are then, the finale, heat 15, the nominated riders race, and with the Pirates comfortably in front, 51 points to 36 in this 2-leg challenge fixture. And of course it will be interesting to see how they do fare in the 2nd leg, all the way up there in the northwest. But this time they're taking no chances. They're tracking the big guns of Leigh ADAMS and Lukas DRYML, both with immaculate winning rides from their 4 outings, and they come out against the Comets' best 2 on the evening. Stonehewer and Simon Stead, they're only 2 heat winners. Stoney with that golden tactical in the 8th race, and Steady in the previous race to this, heat 14. So they're lining up with the 4 of them here in heat 15. Up go the tapes, and Pirates disappear into the distance with Lukas DRYML on the inside, Leigh ADAMS taking the wider line, and I'd be very surprised if the Comets can do too much about this. Stonehewer in the yellow helmet is in third place. Simon Stead at the back there in the green helmet in fourth. And at this stage, Stonehewer is on the tail of Lukas DRYML, but I think he's trying to find out the quickest way around this track, and Lukas will be pleased to show him, because we've seen plenty of examples at Wimborne Road this season of Lukas absolutely flying around this track, and he's following in the wheel tracks of his partner Leigh ADAMS for this final race 5-1 maximum with half a lap to go. It's going to move the Pirates on to a final total of 56 points, and that'll leave the Comets with 37. And an interesting and entertaining challenge fixture in which the Pirates were never seriously threatened, but always given a run for their money, and a different sort of fixture from the Elite League matches we're used to here. And I think you'll agree that the Workington Comets provided some attractive opposition here this evening, and with that we'll hand you back to Nigel.
Well, good to see Craig Boyce back in Poole colours at last at Wimborne Road. And Craig, after all those nerves that we've heard about, a good night's work.
Yeah, everything went good. Yeah, the track was good, and good to ride in front of my home fans, and enjoyed myself.
I'm sure the paycheck will help, because I know that the bank balance will be well boosted by paid maximum.
Yeah, it was good, you know, and as I said, the bike went good, the team was good, and had a fun night.
Yeah, everything worked out well. Do you think that this is the side that, or the makings of the side that can go so far in the British League Cup?
Yeah, I think so, you know. Of course, we're not going to use Leigh, but we use Bjarni, and yeah, it's strong, so it's good.
It's always great to have a run out, of course.
Yeah, that's it, sure is.
Okay, thanks for talking to us. Well done.
Thanks.
Well, I guess I have to say that the result at any rate was academic tonight, and of course what really mattered was that it gave both these teams a try out on the track and give them a good run out, as Craig Boyce himself just said. Well, for the Pirates at any rate, they're off into a busy schedule again. They're on the road and they're on the way to Oxford. We'll bring you news of that clash before our next meeting here at Wimborne Road, and right now it's time to go to our next feature.